My name's Jenna Spessard. I built a tiny house on wheels so that I could pursue my passion of travel and journalism. I have a website called Tiny House Giant Journey, and it's all about how I've downsized, changed my life, and decided to pursue my passions. The tiny house movement means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And what I would personally define the tiny house movement is as a dream fulfillment movement. It's something that helps you work towards whatever dream or passion that you have. I like to say that I don't work for my house, it works for me. It facilitates my lifestyle, it facilitates the things I want in my life, and I think that's what a tiny house is really meant to be. You're building something that is going to make your life better, whatever that means, you know, and it's not going to be a burden on you like a lot of houses are. It's going to change your life. It's going to help you reach your dreams. It's going to facilitate your passions. It's going to work for you, and that's what the tiny house movement is to me. So this is the inside of my tiny house. It's about 165 square feet if you include the loft, or it's 135 on the ground floor. My tiny house has been designed to be a travel tiny house and an off-grid tiny house. So there's a lot of flexibility in the appliances that I chose. For instance, I chose a wood stove for my tiny house because I knew I was going to be parking in cold climates. I spent 9 months in the mountains in Colorado, so this thing really came in handy. I love it because it's lightweight, it's stainless steel, it looks really cool, it has a great aesthetic when you have a fire inside of a tiny house. It really makes it feel like a cabin and not a lot like an RV. Over here I have my storage staircase. So this is my pantry, this is my closet, and this is also my staircase. So a lot of people when they come into my tiny house, they don't actually notice that this is a staircase until they spot the handrail. So it's kind of a hidden staircase, if you will. And it's just a bunch of old reclaimed crates that I've reinforced and added drawers and baskets and storage in different ways. So whenever I find something that fits with the style that I'm going for, like this here, I'll buy it, see if it fits in this storage space. I like to keep old mason jars or pickle jars or whatever, and I think showing food can be beautiful, so it's another way that I try to display my items and the things that I own. Everything in my tiny house is a little bit rustic. It's sort of the style I'm going for, sort of like a farmhouse, countryside, rustic feel. Kind of going with the barn siding that I have on the outside of my tiny house, I tried to bring more of a farmhouse rustic style to the inside of my tiny house. But I really wanted it to be a little bit brighter in here, so I painted the wood white to bring contrast to the reclaimed items. So like I said, the crates are reclaimed. A lot of the exposed wood that you see in here is from another barn in California, so there's a lot of reclaimed items in my tiny house. And I added a pop of color here and there and aged things. So this is actually some doors that I found that are brand new, and I aged them to look old because I wanted them to fit in with the rest of the aesthetic. This is my closet, so all of my clothes fit in this tiny crate. Well, it's a large crate, but tiny closet. When women especially come into my tiny house, they think that this is just crazy that I can fit all my clothes in here, but I care about each clothing item that I own, so that helps me keep a very small amount of clothes. So one thing I missed when I downsized to a tiny house was having a TV. Originally, I worked in the film industry, so I really appreciate cinema and television, and so I found the lightest weight big screen TV I could find, which is a projector and a projector screen. So I watch movies in here a lot, do a lot of Netflixing, and what's great about this is it actually is on hooks and it's lightweight, so I can put it on the outside of my tiny house and do outdoor movie night and invite friends over.
I am weak from coffee. How will I get my family?
Now I'm in my kitchen, and it was really important to me to have a rather large kitchen with plenty of counter space, even though I live in a tiny house. These are alligator juniper wood slab pieces, and they look like they would be really heavy, but we actually routed them out. So they're actually hollow here and here on the backsplash, which saved us a lot of weight. Underneath here, I have storage for food, pots and pans, and also my water tank. Like I said, my tiny house is also built for flexibility and parking, so that allows me to be off-grid. More storage, another crate that I found and reclaimed and made into my storage for my spices. I have a 3-burner stove. It's propane. And I have a 3-way refrigerator, and what that means is it can work off-grid. It can run off of just propane, or when I'm plugged in, like I am now at an RV park, I can run it off of electricity. Down here is more food storage and my trash cans. Over here I have my propane water heater. So this is also really important when I'm off-grid. It allows me to take endless hot showers, which was really important to me. With a tank water heater, you really are limited in the space a tank takes up, so you can probably only have maybe a 20-gallon tank tops, and that would mean that I would run out of hot water within 10 minutes. Not that I take that long of showers, but if you do the dishes and then you take a shower, you're really going to run out of water fast. And if you're going to live in a tiny house with more than one person, it'd be difficult, I think, unless you do tankless. So for me, it was important to have endless hot water, but also have off-grid capabilities. So I went with a propane tankless water heater. So in a tiny house, it's important to store things high and low. So I've stored my fishing poles up here. So I have one over here. This is my go-to fishing pole a lot of the time. And then over here, I have my fly fishing rod and my yoga mat. Sometimes I stretch out or do yoga inside the tiny house. There actually is enough space for some yoga moves. Back here is my bathroom. First thing is my bathroom door, which is actually a closet door that I found at a restore, and then it fit perfectly in this space. So I was so happy. I had to take off one piece of it, but it ended up perfectly fitting, and it's just magnetized into place. What I like about it is that it's a tri-fold, so I can push it away in a bunch of different ways. It can go flat, or it can move out of my way this way. So it gives me more flexibility when I'm moving things in and out of the bathroom than having to do this and really get out of the way for a one solid door. So this is my bathroom. It's pretty small, obviously. It's a tiny house, so I didn't want to take up a whole bunch of space for the bathroom. But I have a shower that is 24 inches wide by 32 inches long. That is pretty small for a shower, but really the only small part is down by my feet, because one bonus of having a metal bathroom is that you can add magnets to your shower curtain and really expand the space, and also prevent the shrink wrapping thing that sometimes happens in showers where the shower curtain tends to hug you. On the other side over here, I have the Nature's Head composting toilet. That was important to me because of the off-grid parking and the flexibility in parking. And I've been using that for 3 years, and I've been really happy with using it. At first I was skeptical, but now that I'm used to it, I really am happy that I made that choice. I did plumb the tiny house to have a flush toilet, so my thought was if I didn't like the composting toilet, I could always swap it out for a flush toilet. So you can see some of the plumbing back there that was put in place but never been used. Over here I just have more clothing storage, mostly for towels and linens. So about a year after living in the tiny house, I finally found a vanity that I liked, and I added this vanity from IKEA and found these lights that I attached this light strip here, so I have like good lighting to do my makeup in the morning, and that's worked out really well. So this is my living room slash dining room slash guest bedroom slash office. This space was made to transform into whatever I need it to be at the time that I need it. So in the configuration that it's in right now, it's the L-shaped couch configuration for lounging, watching movies. Each of these ottomans have storage inside of them, but they can also be moved into different locations depending on what I want them to do. So if I want the daybed configuration, I'd move them both here. They can both also be tucked underneath if I want to do yoga in this space. And this can actually pull out into a full-size bed if I put the ottomans in the right configuration, and so that is a nice spot for guests, or if I'm feeling sick and I don't want to climb up into the loft. This table also transforms in a couple different ways. So most of the time I use it like this, and that's great for if I just want to do some work on my laptop, or if I'm having breakfast in the morning, or a place for my coffee or a glass of wine. So I use this majority of the time in this configuration. I can also pop this out if I need some place to put my drink over here, let's say, and I wanted this out of the way. So that is another way that I use this piece. This is also a chalkboard, so I'll write down my grocery list here. When I have guests over, I use this configuration. So if I wanted to have like a dinner party for 3 or 4 people, I would put 2 people in the back here, and then I'd put the ottomans in this configuration here, and we'd sit sort of like at a bistro table style. It's not a very wide table, so I have to be careful about what I serve, make sure there's not a whole bunch of plates on the table, but it's sort of like a family style configuration, so it works as long as you're smart about the things you serve. And again, most people don't even realize this is a table. They just look at it and they think, oh, that's a piece of art and this is a chalkboard, until you flip it down. And that was sort of the idea. I wanted to make it look like a frame and not necessarily like a fold down table. So I tried to hide the legs the best I could. Come here. This is our favorite, isn't it? Drop. Good girl. Good girl. You ready? Go downstairs. You ready? Ready? So this is my bedroom. I have plenty of headroom on top of my mattress, which is only a 5-inch mattress. It's a Japanese style mattress, so something that's kind of cool about it is it has netting underneath. I don't have to flip it ever or worry about moisture getting stuck underneath there and mold. So it's a breathing mattress, and that was something that was important to me because I worry about things getting stuck underneath the mattress in a loft, and it's meant for sleeping on the floor, so it's worked out really well where I haven't felt like it's caving in or anything going wrong with it in 3 years. I have 5 windows in my loft, so there's plenty of breeze going on, and I actually have a skylight that opens all the way. That was important to me for 2 different reasons. One is I wanted an escape route in case there was some sort of fire downstairs so I can get out immediately and not be trapped up here. And the second reason is access to my roof for stargazing or for repairs on top of the roof. So I extended my loft out a couple of feet so that I had space to fit my dog's bed. She, I think, would have been pretty sad if she couldn't have come up into the loft. So I did a couple things in my tiny house specifically for my dog. One was putting a tub in the bathroom so that way I could give her dog baths. Another is including a staircase that she could climb, not just me, so she can come up here and down when she wants. And extending my loft so that she has a space to sleep. If you're going to live alternatively, you better be ready to be scrutinized, because this lifestyle is not for everyone. And I chose to make myself very public in it, and I chose to share my journey, my giant journey, and I chose to share my tiny house, and I've really talked to everybody about it. People who are complete naysayers, people who really want to do it and look up to me and think it's super inspiring. I get emails almost on a daily basis from someone saying, I just watched your video, I'm sitting in my cubicle at work, and it's just made me really think about my life and what I really want to do, and thank you for that, you know, and I just wanted to reach out and say thank you. And I love those emails. They really touch me, because that's all I want to do, is I want people to think a little bit more and not just go through their life doing something that they don't necessarily want. That's what I was gonna do, and I'm so glad that I took that leap and I took the risk and I decided to live alternatively, and I'm so glad that I've shared it with others. Even if a few of them have changed their life for the better, then that's really satisfying to me. Thanks for stopping by and taking a look. If you'd like to see more, you can check out my website, tinyhousegiantjourney.com. See you guys.
Hey guys, guys, it's Alexis.
And Christian.
Thank you very much for watching our video.
Yes, and subscribing to our channel.
And don't forget to check out more tiny house stories.
And tours.
Oh, and don't forget to join us on Patreon.
And again, don't forget to subscribe.
See you next time.
Take it easy, guys.